My name is Daniel Liu, and I'm the broker for 5-Star Real Estate. And I want to talk to you folks out there that are getting ready to sell your house. Now, for whatever reason, maybe you're getting ready to upgrade or downgrade, or maybe you just got transferred to another city or another state and you need to sell a house. There's a lot of important information that I'm going to share with you in this video. Basically 5 points that I think you need to be most concerned about when looking to interview the right real estate agent to list your house. And so I hope you find this information very informative. I just don't think there's enough information out there, and so that's the reason why I put this video together. So with that being said, let's dive into this. The first point that I think you need to be most concerned about is market analysis. What is your house worth? No, really, what's your house worth? Okay, I know what you think your house is worth, but let's look at the facts. Okay, doing a market analysis is a very detailed process. I could think my house is worth $200,000, but if it's not, I'm going to be in big trouble when I go to list it because nobody's going to want to buy it. So a real market analysis entails some detail as far as trying to find a house most similar to yours in your subdivision that recently sold. Okay? When the appraiser goes out to appraise the value of your house after you get a contract, the lender that works for the buyer is going to lend them the money. They want to send out an appraiser to make sure that the value is really there, because they're not going to loan the money on the value of a house if it's not worth what the sales price is. So what the appraiser is going to do is he's going to research all the homes in the subdivision. He's going to find the homes that sold most recently that are most similar to your home, both in size, square footage, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, 1-story, 2-story. His job is to get as close as possible to your home, and then at that point he can look to see what that house sold for. If that house sold for $150,000, your house is going to be worth around $150,000. Okay, so deciding that your house is worth whatever it is not necessarily a really good indication of how to make the value of your home. A lot of people look at the tax records. They think, oh, the tax records have my house listed at $185,000. Well, that's not necessarily a good indication either, because the tax records are used for the purposes of assessing your tax bill. So if your tax bill is lower, that's more beneficial to you. If your tax bill is higher, it means the city thinks that your house is worth this much, but that's just for tax purposes. They don't have access to the MLS, and so they can't properly assess the value of a house based on what other houses in the area have sold for. Okay, so with that being said, point number 2 is marketing. What are they going to do to market your house? All right, if I'm selling my house and the real estate agent came to me and said, hey, do you know that we have a really great marketing plan? Do you know that 95% of the people actually look online first? And that is true. 95% of the people actually do look online first to find their home. Things have changed. Technology has advanced a lot. And so a lot of people go to websites like Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com, and maybe in their personal website, 5star-realestate.com, you know. And maybe they go there and they're going to search online to see what they could find. Okay? That is probably the number one way people find houses now. It's not necessarily do they show up to open houses and stuff like that. Even though that does work, it's not the number one way to find a house. And so my concern is, as an owner, is, well, if the internet is the best way to represent my house for sale, what's the real estate agent going to do to make my house look good? Well, I would request that they have professional pictures taken. Okay? The MLS, Multiple Listing Service, can hold up to 25 pictures. Those pictures and that listing on the MLS actually gets syndicated out to other websites. And so the pictures that you put on the Multiple Listing Service are the pictures that are going to be out there in the internet land. And so first and foremost, I want to make sure that they give me the best advice to give me the great curb appeal in my house. What do I need to do to get my house ready to sell? Great pictures are a necessity. Advice on what I need to do as far as do I start packing, do I not start packing, you know, all that information, it makes a really big difference when you're coming to selling your house. And so that should be all part of the marketing plan that the real estate agent brings to you. And I don't want this real estate agent to kind of come in and fumble his way through. I want this guy or girl to be a professional. They better know what they're talking about, and they better be able to answer all my questions about marketing. So the third step is knowledge. How much knowledge do they have about the real estate world? How long have they been in business? How long have they had their real estate license? These are all things that I want to know. I want to know really how successful there is. What's their track record? How many houses have they sold? How many houses have they purchased? You know, these are all things that I want to know because, you know, if they're a professional, they're going to be knowledgeable and people are going to trust them. So the fourth step is negotiations. How good are they at negotiating the sale of my house? Are they able to negotiate in my best interest? If I'm looking for somebody to sell my house, they better have my best interest at heart and not just wanting another paycheck. Because if they don't do a good job, I will fire them. And I will not be afraid to fire them because if they don't do a good job, then there's no reason why they should be working for me. So with that being said, having a knowledgeable real estate agent that's able to negotiate the right deal for me, you know, if I could come to closing with little money or no money, that would be ideal. If this agent's able to negotiate repairs and closing costs and surveys and all that type of stuff with the buyer and make it so that it looks good on my end, hey, I'm all for that. So the fifth point is my bottom line. What do I have to come to the table with at the end of the day? All right? I don't want any surprises at closing. I want to know, based on the sales price and everything that we negotiate in the contract, what am I going to get or what am I going to have to bring to the closing table? The last thing I want is a surprise from the title officer saying that you have to bring a check for $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever the case may be. I want to be well informed, bottom line, what it's going to cost me to sell my house, including the realtor fees. So with all that being said, here at 5 Star Real Estate, we encompass all 5 of those points. We want to make it as clear as possible for our client that when we're selling their house, we have their best interest at heart. We want to do a professional job. In fact, we pride ourselves on excellence and customer service. The majority of our business comes from referrals. And so if you're not happy with our service, then I'm not happy. And neither are any of my agents because none of them are going to get paid. And so with that being said, I know you might have a lot more questions. Feel free to call me. I'll answer my phone. We can meet in person. We could do an assessment on your house to see what it's worth. That doesn't cost anything, no obligation. And I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. All right. Well, I thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you on the other side.